Estudiantes, saludos, ¿cómo están ustedes? Estoy bien. Today, let's take a look at La Escuela y el Salón. Introduction. Today is the first day of class. Jean and Ben are both very excited. They have managed to make it there on time on their own, mostly, and they are eager to meet their classmates. Their teacher will be going over the course expectations, and Jean and Ben are totally prepared, so they think. In this module, La Escuela y el Salón, you will learn the vocabulary list that allows you to talk about your surroundings, your activities, your classwork, and your school experiences, as well as the supplies necessary to complete your schoolwork. Here is the link to download the key terms for this module. When you click, your vocabulary to complete the module will open. And in class, we have been over the materiales escolares, the school materials, por ejemplo, la mochila, el lápiz, el bolígrafo, el marcador, la goma de borrar, el cuaderno, la carpeta, el libro, la hoja de papel, la calculadora, la computadora, el borrador, la regla, el sacapuntas. We have been over some of the classes in the classroom. Por ejemplo, el inglés, la educación física, las ciencias, las matemáticas, el español, la historia, la clase de estudios, la música, el arte, las ciencias de la salud, las ciencias sociales, el periodo, la tecnología, el almuerzo. Adverbs. We need to learn some adverbs. Por ejemplo, the Spanish word for always is siempre. The Spanish word for often is a menudo. The Spanish word for many times, muchas veces. The Spanish word for sometimes, a veces. The Spanish word not very often, muy pocas veces. The Spanish word for hardly ever, casi nunca. The Spanish word for never is nunca. We know some of the people in la escuela, por ejemplo, el director or la directora is a Spanish word for principal. La señora is a Spanish word for a married lady. El señor is a Spanish word for Mr. And la señorita is a Spanish word for a single lady. El compañero, la compañera de la clase, your classmates, el alumno, la alumna, el estudiante, la estudiante, the Spanish word for male and female student. We have some Spanish verbs. Remember in class, we've been discussing regular AR verbs, o, as, a, almost on. And we have one or two here to take a peek at. Estudiar, contestar, dibujar, escuchar, hablar, levantar, llegar, preguntar, necesitar. So we've been talking about verbs in class as well, and here you can see these verbs are being used in this module. So if we go back to our module and we click on this right here, it's going to give you the audio version of your vocabulary list other than myself. So click here and go through your vocabulary list. So that's all there is to do on page 1. We're going to click on page 2. And when we click on page 2, we have a review of los números. You know we need to know our numbers because numbers are used to tell time. Numbers are used for una cita, a date, and so on and so forth. And here we have our números from 0 to 30, 0 to 30, 0 hasta 30. And you can see that they are listed here, 0 to 10 in this columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The second column, sing with me. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The third column, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And of course, we've been over this in class. This is nothing new. This is a review, el repaso. So that's all there is to page 2. Moving right along to page 3. Page 3, we have a repaso of time, de la hora. Remember, ¿qué hora es? What time is it? Son las, es la. Do you remember which one is singular and which one will be plural? I know you know it. Es la is singular. Es son las plural. Es la una. Remember to tell time on the clock. The number 1 is always feminine. It's never uno. It's always una. Es la una, 1 o'clock. 2 through 12. Son las. Son las dos. Son las tres. Son las cuatro. Son las cinco. Son las seis. Son las siete. Son las ocho. Son las nueve. Son las 10. Son las 11. Son las 12. And remember, our clock is divided into quarters. The first quarter, the first 15 minutes, our Spanish word is cuarto. Half past. At the 30-minute mark, quarter past. At the 30-minute mark, media, half past. Back up here at the 45-minute mark, cuarto again, quarter till. So quarter past and quarter till uses the same Spanish word cuarto, and half past uses the Spanish word media. And we have worked on telling time in class, and you guys know how to do that because you are my Espanol superstars. So we have a little passage, and we want to see how these times are used in context of our daily schedule at school, and we're going to test our understanding by answering the questions that follow. El Día de María. So if you have it pulled up with me, you follow along and read as I read. María es una estudiante de 15 años en la ciudad de Saltillo, México. Su día en la escuela es muy largo. La escuela no está muy lejos de su casa y va a la escuela a pie con sus amigas Gloria y Susana. Tiene muchos libros en su mochila porque tiene muchas clases. María tiene 12 clases diferentes. A las 8 tiene la clase de matemáticas, pero solo los lunes, los miércoles y los viernes. Los martes y los jueves María tiene la clase de historia. Las otras clases son inglés, francés, educación física, química, biología, arte, geografía de México y computadoras. No tiene todas las clases todos los días, por supuesto. Tiene clases por la mañana hasta las 12. Va a casa para el almuerzo. Después del almuerzo va a la escuela a las 4 por 2 horas más. Los profesores de la escuela de María son muy estrictos. Todos los estudiantes llevan uniforme, no llevan gorras ni ollas. Los estudiantes tienen mucha tarea todas las noches. A María le gusta estudiar y siempre tiene notas de 8 o mejor. Ella también participa en el club de arte y practica voleibol y tenis. En general, su día termina a las 10:30 de la noche. Ella está cansada, pero contenta. Now we have some preguntas that follow, just like we do in class. Número uno, la pregunta dice en inglés, how old is Maria? And from our reading comprehension, we go back up in our dialogue and we find the answer to the question, Maria tiene 15 años. Maria is 15 years old. Número dos, where is the school in relation to her home? ¿Está cerca de su casa o está lejos de su casa? Cerca versus lejos. Cerca means near, lejos means far. Let's go back up in our dialogue. ¿Está la casa cerca o está la casa lejos? Está cerca. No está muy lejos. So that would be the answer that we would put for number 2 inside our Google Doc. So for today, I would like you to complete los números 1 to 13, 1 to 13. Inside a Google Doc and submit your assignment using the link that I have provided. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email. I will be glad to respond. If there are no further preguntas, hasta luego.